everyone, it's Miss Julianne from the Wakanda Area Library, and I am here to talk about soap. What? You may have noticed that in your STEM kit today you got directions, you got a bar of soap, and you got some parchment paper. Now, what's sciencey about soap? Tons! Well, first off, it keeps us clean, which is very important, especially in the winter when there's lots of germs. Secondly, this isn't any sort of soap. It is a very particular soap. Ivory soap, which is very important because ivory soap has a certain saying, and it's called the soap that floats. And you might think, well, what makes soap float? Well, not all soap does float. A lot of times it's really dense, which is a special word for heavy, and it doesn't float. It'll sink right to the tub. And that might be a fun tub experiment for bath time, with your grown-up's permission. But the soap I gave you is ivory soap, and it's called the soap that floats because it is whipped up so that there is lots of air in it. So although it might feel heavy or dense, and it has, it seems very solid, there is little tiny pockets of air that are whipped into it. So think of when you're grown up, or maybe even you are in the kitchen, and you might be whipping a cream or mashed potatoes or anything that needs to be soft, right? Air accidentally gets put into it because you're whipping, and when you're doing that, what are you creating? You can kind of even sometimes feel the air that you're mixing, right? So ivory soap is whipped to make that soft firm thing, and then it dries. So before it's put into the bar, it's whipped and whipped and whipped, and air is put into it. So our experiment is about what happens when you put that ivory soap into the microwave. What do you guys think is gonna happen? I think it fluffs up. Now, why would soap become giant and fluffy? Well, if it is packed full of little particles of air, when it gets hot, it's gonna wanna expand. So air expands, and then where's the air gonna go? Well, it has to move out, right? It can't stay in, and that's why I think the soap gets fluffy. But I want you to kind of come up with your own conclusion when you do the experiment. Now, a few rules before I show you how to do it. This needs to be done with your grown-up. I'm gonna say this one more time. This experiment needs to be done with your grown-up because it involves a microwave. The soap becomes super hot, so I wanna make sure you don't get burned. And, well, it could make a mess. So these are all things that your grown-up needs to be a part of so they can supervise or watch you. But it's gonna be lots of fun, and here we go. Okay, so you'll see I put down my parchment paper and I unwrapped my ivory soap. So I'm gonna just plop it right here. And then I'm gonna close my door. And then I'm gonna put it in for a minute. Now it's important to watch very closely because it will start expanding right away, okay? So about at 15 seconds, it will start expanding. So you might wanna stop, in the middle at 30, check on it, start again. Just kind of keep your eyes out. So you'll see that's my bar. Well, it's definitely starting to smell like soap. Do you see anything happening? I definitely see stuff going down. Whoa, look at that. In fact, I'm gonna pause it, open it up. It's gonna be really hot, so do not touch it. I'm just doing it so it doesn't make a bigger mess. Okay, I'm gonna close it again. Start for another 30. Look at it go! Look at that air expand and make it fluffy. Okay, I'm gonna stop it one more time. Look at that! That's so cool, you guys! Now, do not touch it. Once it has fluffed up to the most, or that your grown-up feels comfortable with, do not touch it right away. It will be super hot. I do not want you or your grown-up getting burned. So let it sit in your microwave for a minute or two. And then when it sat there and it's cooled off, let your grown-up test it first. You can pull it out of the microwave and play with it. So I've let it cool off. And I just want to show you a little bit about, so once I've let it cool off a couple minutes, this is not the texture I was guessing it to be. Kind of different. Flaky. So this might make a mess when you are touching it. So I would say make sure you do it maybe even in a sink for your grown-up. But definitely all of this should be done with your grown-up supervision. Okay? And have fun with it. Play with it, ask questions about it, and let me know how it is. Thank you for having this science experiment with me. We hope to see you in the library, and I hope you have a wonderful winter break. Bye!